Welcome back, friends. It's Anders. Today, we are making the Navy Grog. This is a crowd pleaser. Last week, if you were here, we focused on the grog, and we made 3 recipes, and we didn't even really touch on the Navy Grog. I did mention it, but I said it's gonna get its own episode, so here we are today. We are making 3 Navy Grogs. 2 of them are classics. 1 of them is a contemporary take. It's still a Navy Grog, but it's a version I have not tasted yet, and I'm looking forward to it. And for those of you who want a really quick video with just the recipes, I always leave the timestamps down below. I put chapters in. I make it easy to skip ahead, or maybe you should work on your attention span. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button for more sips, tips, and recipes, and let's go make 3 Navy Grogs. To the bar. The history of the Navy Grog. It's actually a really interesting history, and I do think that we have to talk a little bit about early Tiki culture to cover this cocktail. So you have 2 big Tiki figures. You have Donn the Beachcomber, also went by Donn Beach, even though his name wasn't even Donn. His name was Ernest Raymond Gant, out on the West Coast. And then you had Trader Victor Bergeron, who actually came shortly thereafter. You could say he was a copycat because he was doing his own Tiki thing, but he was really mimicking what Donn the Beachcomber did. Anyway, both of them had a Navy Grog, and they were pretty similar. Tiki's weird, okay? All of these, I've said this before, all of these Tiki bartenders, they didn't want other bartenders using their recipes, so they had like secret syrups and mixes and crazy names, and they would put on their limit of 1 or 2 so it looked strong so that men back then would drink them. Let's be honest. They didn't want any sort of like tropical girly drink. So they had to make it look and sound cool, I guess. What I find interesting here is you have 2 Navy Grogs, and they're both actually quite similar, even though both of these bartenders are not wanting the other one to make their version, you know, because they had their own secret sauce kind of thing. Donn the Beachcomber came up with the Navy Grog first, and he dedicated it to the American Navy, which I think is interesting because true grog came from the British Navy. Trader Vic's, his Navy Grog has a bit more of a story behind it. In fact, it's probably the more popular between the 2. That's because a couple of events brought attention to this drink. Number 1, President Nixon said that this was his favorite cocktail. He would go into Trader Vic's in Washington, D.C. with his staff, and they would have Navy Grogs. Apparently, even during the Watergate scandal, they would sneak him over to Trader Vic's after close, like 3 in the morning. Bartender would meet him there, and in the cover of night, he would drink Navy Grogs. The other story that has brought some attention to Trader Vic's version is the fact that Phil Spector, the music producer and murderer, on the night that he murdered the actress Lana Clarkson, he had 2 of those Navy Grogs. Even at the murder trial, the bartender had to testify how strong these drinks were, and they said, it is one of the strongest drinks we got on the menu. So, not that that gives you permission to murder people. That should be a given. But I think it's worth noting that these drinks were potent. In fact, even Donn Beach, he would limit customers to only 2. I think part of that was, you know, kind of a marketing thing. It made it look like a stronger cocktail. And then they both have their own little tweak to the drink. So to go in further, I want to show you the bottles that we're going to use in this cocktail. So now the booze. But first, a quick word from our sponsor. So cute. Shh. Today's video is sponsored by ZBiotics. ZBiotics. Pre-alcohol probiotic drink is the world's first genetically engineered probiotic. It was created by PhD scientists to tackle rough mornings after drinking. Here's how it works. When you drink alcohol, it gets converted into a toxic byproduct in your gut. Yeah, gross. It's this byproduct, not dehydration, that's to blame for the rough next day. Pre-alcohol produces an enzyme to break down this byproduct. Just remember to make ZBiotics your first drink of the night, drink responsibly, and you'll feel your best tomorrow. And get plenty of rest. If you want to try it for yourself, click on the link below and you'll get 15% off your first order. Plus, ZBiotics offers a 100% money back guarantee. So if you're not satisfied for whatever reason, they'll give you your money back, no questions asked. So click the link down below. Thanks, ZBiotics. On to the film. All right, so to make these recipes, we will need rum, and rum. We'll also need fresh lime juice, grapefruit juice, and then for Donn Beaches, we'll need a honey syrup and soda water, or club soda, seltzer, whatever, bubbly water. For Trader Vic's, we don't need these two things, but we need all of this plus an allspice liqueur and a rich Demerara syrup. So we've got here to here, Donn Beach, here to here, Trader Vic. Very similar, right? Okay, so first let's talk about the base, rum. This is a blend of 3 rums. I've got a lightly aged rum and a Jamaican rum. I used both of these in Donn's own grog last week, but then I also had a rum agricole, which we're switching out this week. We are grabbing a heavier Demerara rum. This is, I believe, more accurate. In one of Trader Vic's recipes, he specifically said an 86 proof Demerara rum. So that's what we're using today. I'm gonna be using the same rums for both drinks because it'll make a fairer comparison. It's also easier. I don't wanna throw 6 rums at you. The citrus, freshly squeezed lime juice, no surprise there. That's actually called for in a traditional grog, but the grapefruit juice is not. And this is in both Donn Beaches and Trader Vic's. Here's the thing about grapefruit juice. This right here is white grapefruit juice. I prefer it to pink grapefruit juice. It is not fresh. I'm gonna level with you. I'm gonna be honest. I don't think I can get fresh white grapefruits this time of year. 100% juice, not from concentrate, all of that stuff, so as close to fresh as I can. It gave it a little bitterness, and I thought that it really rounded out the cocktail nicely. I know this sounds nitpicky, don't overthink it. Use whatever you want. Enough about grapefruit juice. Now on to the sweetener. For Donn Beaches, we have a honey syrup. I am using a 3-to-1 honey syrup. It's a little bit thicker. That's the ratio that I like to use in all of my cocktails. And for all of you honey experts out there, this is a clover honey. Basswood would be good, also called linden honey. It doesn't matter, does it? If you use buckwheat, it's gonna taste very different. Buckwheat honey and clover honey, miles apart, let me tell you. You might as well just throw tar in your cocktail. On to Trader Vic's. On this side, we've got an allspice liqueur as a sweetener, as well as a rich Demerara syrup to add some weight and sweetness, caramely goodness. Here's the thing. Trader Vic's version, there was a mix, you know, it was like, what was it? Trader Vic's concentrate. You could buy it in the store and you could add it to your cocktail. So you still don't know what Trader Vic is putting in his cocktail, even though you made it yourself. But in the book, Potions of the Caribbean by Beachcomber, he kind of figured it out. And he said it's pretty much equal parts lime, grapefruit, and allspice. So that's why we have the allspice liqueur here. Enough yapping, let's make the cocktail. I haven't even gotten to the gimmicky parts. Wait till you see this. Ice cone. That's all I gotta say. Ice cone. It's a cone of ice. Why? I think we need to try to find out. Let's go ahead and make Donn Beaches, Donn the Beachcomber's Navy Grog. Let's make that. Okay, let's build. Holy crap-oly. So with tiki drinks, so many of them are served on crushed ice. It's a really common to flash blend that, which we will later, but this one I am shaking with ice because we are gonna pour it over an ice cone. So there's no crushed ice here. We'll talk about the ice cone later. I've got plenty to say about that thing. The ratios that I'm using here, all equal parts, so you can remember this. You can do it, all of you, everybody. So let's start with 3/4 of an ounce of Demerara rum. To that, 3/4 of an ounce of Jamaican rum, 3/4 of an ounce of a light rum, 3/4 of an ounce of fresh lime juice, 3/4 of an ounce of grapefruit juice, whichever kind you have. Now, 3/4 of an ounce of your honey syrup. Again, this is 3-to-1, honey to water. And the soda we will deal with later. So now we can add ice and shake. All right, shake this up as you would a normal sour style cocktail. So we're talking 15 seconds or so. Now let's talk ice cones. I guess I'll show you what I'm talking about. So grab a chilled lowball glass. Here is our ice cone. Straw goes right through it, like this. It's a cone of ice. So it's, that's what it is. That's what it calls for. You take your ice cone and you drop it in here. You think you would want like a little volcano, but you don't. You like knock it off to the side here. You wanna make sure the drink can get underneath it. This is how you garnish it. I'll tell you how I made these things in a moment, but now we can strain the cocktail over your ice cone. I don't think we need to, but I'm gonna double strain. Make sure it gets underneath that massive cone. A little room there. Now, our bubbly water right on top. This is gonna be another 3/4 of an ounce, give or take. Eyeball that. Yeah, gives it a little foam. That's it. That is it. Donn the Beachcomber's Navy Grog. Cheers. I'm gonna take one sip while it's fresh, and then we're gonna come back to it after I make Trader Vic's. Cheers. It's really tasty. It's good. It tastes similar to an airmail, not quite as bubbly because I think all the bubbles are on the top here. Let me try to can stir that up with our giant cone. All right, I'm going to pop this in the freezer so it stays cold and doesn't fall apart. We'll come back to it. So that ice cone is actually apparently a crucial part for that cocktail. There's no other garnish. It's all about the ice cone. Is it a gimmick? Kinda. I guess you could argue that it keeps the drink cold because you're drinking through a straw and it's surrounded by ice, so every sip is ice cold. But I mean, I bought this. This is actually from Cocktail Kingdom. I'm not promoting anything. I just wanted to try this. I've tried it once before, a long time ago. It's just a little metal cone with a stick that you put into it. Here's the deal. You fill it up with shaved ice, not crushed ice. You want really fine shaved ice so that it packs tightly, and then you freeze it in the freezer and you've got like a nice firm cone of ice. They're really honest opinion, not worth it. Out of 5 stars, 2.5. That's being generous. The crucial thing is you need the straw hole to go all the way through. I made a number of ice cones in case they didn't work out, which most of them did not. And I froze them without a straw in there, and they melted a little bit and then froze so that the straw hole clogged up and the straw wouldn't go through. You wanna freeze it with the straw going all the way through. Here's the other thing. This thing is not as wide as my straw. Yeah, no, look at that. So I made holes in my ice cones with this thing because that's what came with the mold. But look at my straw, it's too fat. So then I had to soak my straw in hot water so I could melt my way through the cone. I ended up breaking a few of them. I was able to salvage just enough for this video. These are the things I go through for these videos, just so you know. I also bought an ice shaver, a really nice ice shaver. I mean, don't get me wrong, shaved ice is fun, but I bought it so I could make this thing. So what do you do if you don't have an ice cone? I would say serve it over crushed ice, like other tiki drinks. You can even serve this on the rocks, it's gonna be fine. Do you need the ice cone? No. But you know, you do whatever you want. And like, you saw the final product, right? Let me, look, like really? Yeah, I said it looked like a gooey duck. Do with that what you will. So now for Trader Vic's version, we're gonna keep things pretty simple as well. So let's start this off with the Demerara Rum, 3/4 of an ounce, just like before. 3/4 of an ounce of the Jamaican rum, 3/4 of an ounce of our light rum. Gonna add 1/4 of an ounce of the Allspice liqueur. Allspice, sometimes called pimento dram, allspice liqueur, same thing. 1/2 ounce of the rich Demerara syrup, 3/4 ounce fresh lime juice, and 3/4 ounce grapefruit juice. Grab some crushed ice. Hope you already crushed it. If not, crush it now. Just kind of add enough to cover all the liquid. Give it a quick whiz in the machine if you have one. Otherwise, just shake it up real quick, not too much, just to add air. If you got a blender like me, then 3 to 5 seconds. That should do it. Open pour into your chilled glass, nice and foamy. If you want, you can top it off with more crushed ice. And for garnish, we're gonna go traditional here. Trader Vic puts in a lime husk that I have from juicing the lime. A lot of people put it in upside down, and maybe that's the way Trader Vic did it, like this, like a little cap, but I like it up, like a little boat. We're also gonna garnish with mint. Wake it up, drop it in, and then the last thing. All right, so this is Trader Vic's gimmick. It's a rock candy stick. I found these available online. It's just what I said. It's rock candy on a stick. This is kind of, you could stir your drink with it. Maybe it'll help sweeten it up. Here it is. Not necessary, but it's a nice touch, right? I'm just gonna lay this across the top. Look at that. Now that is a tiki drink. Gotta say it's prettier than the cone. So there we have Trader Vic's Navy Grog. Cheers. All right, real quick. It's really good. The allspice with the grapefruit juice, the white grapefruit juice, is very, very good. So I'm going to set this aside. We're gonna make the third and final one, and then we'll taste all of them. The final Navy Grog. This I am making for a couple of reasons. Number one, I'm curious to try it. The recipe looks really good. Number two, a few of you actually said in the comments last week, can you try this recipe? It's supposed to be the best Navy Grog ever. It was in a book that I already had. In the book Tropical Standard by Garrett Richard and Ben Schaefer. So this is based on Trader Vic's. So there is allspice in here. But I do feel like Navy Grog is such a big deal in tropical cocktails that every book is gonna have a page or two dedicated to this drink. And in here, they talk about how they got the secret Navy Grog recipe syrup thing from a bartender that worked for Trader Vic. Of course, he didn't know what Trader Vic's real recipe was, so he kind of came up with his own. Anyway, long story short, this version that we're about to have is a version on a version of a version of a traditional Navy Grog. The thing that's really interesting about this recipe is it's made with a Coca-Cola syrup. So we're gonna have to, this one requires a bit more prep up front. I've done that prep, but I haven't tasted it. So we are gonna find out together. Now to make this third and final variation, the one from Tropical Standard, we will need that same Demerara rum, Jamaican rum, a white Haitian rum, allspice liqueur, Grog concentrate syrup, acid adjusted grapefruit juice, Angostura bitters, a salt solution, and one wedge of lime. Not even a whole lime, just one little wedge. This recipe that we're doing is the same recipe, verbatim, from the Tropical Standard. I've got the Demerara rum, the Jamaican rum, that's the same rums that I used in the previous two Navy Grogs, but I have replaced our light rum with Barbancourt White, which is a hard rum to find here in Chicago. I found 3 available and I bought one of them. So if you've got access to it, use it, but if you can't find it, I think that's gonna be all right. You can stick with another light rum. For the sweetener, we've got our Grog concentrate syrup. This I'm excited about. It's only made with 3 ingredients. It's Coca-Cola, whole allspice, and white sugar. I just followed the directions that were in the book. And you need to let this sit for like 12 to 24 hours. So think ahead of time. If you wanna make this drink, you gotta be ready. You can't just whip this one up. The acid adjusted grapefruit juice, this is adjusted to lemon. It's 100 milliliters of grapefruit juice and 4 grams of citric acid dissolved. That's it. It's just gonna be super sour grapefruit juice. The salt solution, this is 20% salt solution. We're gonna use a few drops of it, 5 drops to be specific. This is different than saline solution. Saline solution is, I think, 0.9% salt. This is 20% salt, so this is saltier. We only need a little bit. And then this thing, I am honestly scratching my head about this. You'll see when I make this drink. One little wedge of lime, not even this whole lime, you'll see. Again, I'm just gonna follow the recipe here. In fact, I'm gonna open it up. I'm gonna set it up here. And with that, let's build. One thing I should point out, I am trying to be as true to this recipe as possible. And I don't think I've got any glassware large enough. This calls for a 16-ounce lowball glass. That's a big glass. But we're gonna make it work. It just means I'm gonna be using a little bit less crushed ice than what's used in the book there. So we're gonna grab our little tin. I've heard great things about this. And this is all because of you guys. You told me try this recipe, so I'm trying the recipe. Step 1, squeeze a lime wedge to remove the juice and place the spent wedge in a double old-fashioned glass. So I guess we get rid of the juice, right here. Juiceless wedge. I think this is the largest double old-fashioned glass I got. Just drop that right in. I'm gonna put this back into the freezer to keep it cold. There we go. Let's start with the Demerara rum. We'll do 3/4 of an ounce of the Demerara rum, following the same template here. 3/4 of an ounce of the Jamaican rum, 3/4 ounce of our white rum, the Barbancourt White, 1 teaspoon of the allspice liqueur. This is kind of interesting to me because that syrup we made with the Coca-Cola, that has a lot of allspice in it. So we've got an allspice syrup plus the liqueur, but maybe that's just exactly what it needs. I'm using the bar spoon. It's gonna be about the same, around 5 milliliters. Oh, by the way, I'm not going in the same order as the book here. I build my cocktails backwards. I always start with the booze because that's how my brain works. It always pisses people off, especially bar managers, because, you know, you're supposed to start with the cheapest ingredient and then work your way up. So if you screw up along the way, you're not throwing out all these expensive ingredients. But I like it this way, and I've been doing it long enough, so I don't care. On to our Grog concentrate syrup, 3/4 of an ounce. 1 ounce of our acid adjusted grapefruit juice, 3 dashes of Angostura bitters, and 5 drops of our salt solution. Now, you can count with me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So now let's go ahead, add some crushed ice. In the book, they specifically say add 8 ounces of crushed ice. Blend that up and then add 4 more ounces of crushed ice. I'm gonna eyeball it. I don't think my glass is big enough. We're gonna roll with it. This is gonna be fine. Everything else is verbatim. Throw in enough to cover. Blend away, 3 to 5 seconds. So there we are. We open pour into the chilled glass that has the spent lime wedge already in it. Because we blended it, it gets pretty foamy, so be patient with it. Top it off with a bit more crushed ice. Garnish with a grapefruit slice. Drop it right in there. A sprig of mint. Go. And then optional rock candy stick, but we've got that going on the other one, so we're gonna stop there. It's beautiful. It's stunning. There we have the tropical standard Navy Grog. Cheers. I'm excited. I've never had this one before. All right, I'm gonna put these in the order that we made them. And Oz, would you join me, please?
Okay.
All right.
All right, here we are.
Ta-da, we did it.
Ta-da.
We made it to the final 3 here.
Wow.
So I've already tasted 2 of these.
Okay.
So I'm gonna let you go ahead.
Do you want to taste this first, though? I feel like you made it. I feel like you should maybe taste it.
No.
No. Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna do it this way. 3 Navy Grogs. I've got the classic Donn the Beachcomber, classic Trader Vic, and then the tropical standard.
Okay.
I'll taste them
this
again,
is
but
super exciting.
I mean,
okay.
this is beautiful. Look at this.
Yeah, look at this cone.
All right, that's really.
Okay, I'll try the Donn the Beachcomber's Navy Grog with the cone, with ice cone. Oh, it is,
Right?
wow, it
Yeah, you
runs
gotta
away
catch
from
it.
you. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, it's pretty good, actually.
You like it?
And you know what? Yeah. The ice cone,
Is it good? You like the ice cone?
I do think it makes it cold.
It was also in the freezer.
Oh, yeah. Oh, maybe that's it.
But as you drink, it melts slowly.
It's like a plunger.
Yeah, I've got
Oh,
that.
it looks like a plunger a little.
It does.
He's not a cone guy, I guess.
I'm not a cone
into
guy.
cones.
Yeah.
Maybe more like cylinders,
Yeah.
spheres.
Spheres. I like a good
Cubes.
sphere. Overall, I will say I really do like it.
Yeah, it tastes good.
And when you mix in the bubbly water in there, that I really like. It kind of like keeps it effervescent and
Livens it up.
it does liven it up.
Yeah.
And it's reminiscent of an airmail. I will say that.
I don't know what that tastes like, so
Okay.
Okay, flavor, good. Presentation, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right, sure. It does do this, which is a bit funny.
Can you just imagine like back in the 1940s or whatever, and Donn the Beachcomber was like, there you go, you can only have 2. There, it's strong.
All right, next.
Next,
Trader Vic's, AKA Trader Joe's, as I like to
Trader
call it.
Joe's, yeah.
Trader Vic's, whatever the thing is called.
Navy Grog.
Old Navy.
Trader Joe's Old Navy. You're a consumer.
I am a consumer.
Yeah.
Aha! It's different.
It is.
It's different. It's more sour. Maybe that's what this is for.
Yeah.
I am curious about that.
Yeah.
Do we stick it in the drink or we eat it or what?
I think you can stick it in, and I mean it's pretty.
What do? We dip it and then eat it? I never had one of these before.
It's nice.
Oh,
I have another one. I've got several.
oh, it's crunchy.
Maybe you just kind of sweeten it up. I think it's good.
Oh, tastes like sugar.
Yeah, it's pretty much exactly what you expect. I mean, it's kind of
It's
good.
cute, like sticking out like that, but you kind of want to be able to see it in the presentation, right?
You know what?
What?
It looks like a mini ice cone.
Oh my God, it does! It totally looks like, look at, Trader Vic was maybe trying to emulate
And this supports
his
my theory.
favorite tiki bartender rival.
Trader Vic was a copycat.
Look at that! You know you're onto something.
All right, finally,
Do I get to taste
you
this
get
on
to
my
taste it. Yep.
Okay, here we go. What's it called?
Navy Grog.
Navy Grog, number 3. Oh, powerful, punchy.
Yeah, I'm excited to try this. It went down the wrong. Let me try that again.
Okay.
It is good. There's a lot going on there. I get the Coca-Cola, the Angostura bitters, and the Allspice for sure. And if you were just to like whip up a Navy grog, I do think that these would suffice, these two here. But if you want to try something a bit more involved and intricate, it is really full flavored, nice. You know, obviously I didn't add the full amount of crushed ice, so it is punchy, as you said.
This one is the most robust, I think.
I don't really know what that spent lime wedge is doing in there.
Oh yeah!
It could be just a nod to the original Trader Vic's, you know,
the garnish?
The lime pus thing.
I actually really like this one. The ice cone, like, I don't think that's really...
Yeah.
I don't think that's really helping. The flavor is really good though.
It is, and I actually like the soda water, the club soda on top, more than I thought I would. The real question is the Trader Vic Navy Grog a variation on the Donn the Beachcomber Navy Grog? I think it is. The sugar's melting in there and it's sweetening up. It's really nice with the crushed ice. Maybe the sugar stick is important. Or you could up the sugar in your mixture.
What kind of thing do you like? Do you like Coca-Cola syrup? Do you like a melting sugar stick? Do you like an ice cone?
Do you like an ice cone?
A swirling around ice cone that runs away from you?
Yeah, if we're talking flavors, all three are really good.
Yeah.
So it's a win-win-win. If you enjoyed this video and you didn't see last week's video on the history of grog, check that out right now. Thank you for being here today. Thank you for joining us as always. Thank you ZBiotics for sponsoring today's film.
And goodbye.
Cheers.